My name is Duplessis, and I'm here to interview my great-grandfather, Joseph Duplessis, on naval construction battalions. Grandpa, when did you enlist in the Navy?
September 1943. I went in the Navy and I had machine shop experience, so they put me in the Seabees. So I joined, 100 of us was sent aboard a destroyer as replacements. We were sent to the Hawaiian Islands, and as replacements we were sent to the 10th Naval Construction Battalion on Oahu. And we served a short period of time with the 5th, the 10th, and we served a couple of years with the 50th Seabee Battalion. Eventually, they sent us to Tinian. We were there when the atomic bomb was brought and dropped. We were there when the Japanese surrendered.
How old were you when you enlisted?
I believe I was 20.
Okay. Which training camp were you put in when you were recruited?
I was put in the Seabees because, like I said, I had machine shop experience, and they put me in the Seabees, and the Seabees had a Seabee camp at Endicott, Rhode Island, and Camp Oaks in California, and one in Gulfport, Mississippi, and one 12 miles out of Williamsburg, Virginia. So I went to Camp Perry, and out outside of Williamsburg in Virginia. We had about a month's boot camp, and they put 100 of us aboard a destroyer and sent us to Oahu, which was one of the islands where Pearl Harbor is located.
What are all the islands that you got sent to over the course of the war?
Well, we started off in Hawaii, and we put a short period of time at Kwajalein, and then we wound up at Tinian until the war ended.
Okay. How long were you in the Seabees in total?
In the neighborhood of around 2 years. Shade over 2 years.
Okay. Were you in any other section of the Navy or Army or anything else, or just the Seabees?
Well, during World War II, I was in the Seabees, so I got discharged in December 1945. A year later, I joined the Navy and Naval Air, and I eventually retired January the 5th of 1965.
Okay.
Retired from the Navy.
What are some of the structures that you built during your time as a Seabee?
We built a whole slew of Quonset huts for our military people and for the Marines. We built a breakwater out in Tinian so the ships could be protected to load and unload. We hauled off and helped build the runways. They had drove a coral truck to put the runways on the north end of Tinian so the B-29s could take off and land there to bomb the Japanese day and night.
Were there any specific roles that you had while you were in the Seabees, like that you did and no one else did, or something?
Well, I snaked all the piling to build the cells, the ground cells for the breakwater at Tinian. I snaked them all from one location out to the docks where they were being driven into the ground, down into the coral to make round cells, breakwater out into the ocean, so we keep the ships in and out to be protected by the breakwater.
Okay. How long did it usually take to build some of the stuff that you built while you were a Seabee?
Well, all different times, but it took a long time to drive them pylons because they had to be driven down into this coral. So we operated them, driving them pylon 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Did you ever get into any conflict with enemy soldiers while you were?
Several of the Japanese. We was working a coral pit there in Tinian, and several Japanese come walking in and surrendered to the Americans. There, Americans give them cigarettes, give them water, and give them soft drinks. They treated the people exceptionally good.
Okay, well, after you were finished with the war, what was it like when you finally got home?
I couldn't believe I was home. I couldn't wait to get home to your grandmother and your grandpa Dwight. I couldn't wait to see him. Couldn't just wait to see my mother and my two sisters, and my stepdaddy, and my little baby brother John. I say my little brother John, stands over 6 foot now.
Last time I was in Walmart, they had some beautiful dresses. Little dressy dresses.
Is there any specific that you remember from that time? Like the time you came home, or any special event that happened while you were at Seabee?
No, it was just a routine thing of working, doing what you had to do. We all took our turns driving trucks, mess cooking, cleaning the barracks, guard duty, and working different jobs on the islands that you was assigned to.
Okay, well, thank you very, very, very much, Grandpa Joe.
Well, honey, there's an old slew. A lot of people's got to be thanked. Believe me, it's not only I. A lot of people got it. Every so often I meet one of the old timers there, here and there, with Marine written on him, and I'll inquire about his status with the Marine hat on. Come to find out he was in the Marine Corps. When they found out I was in the Seabees, they hugged me to death, because the Seabees and the Marines, half of them Seabees was old enough to be the Marines' daddy. And I say that because I know what I seen. Believe me, a lot of them were old enough to be the Marines' daddy. Absolutely so.
Well, thank you for letting me interview you today. As I said before, this is my great-grandfather, Joseph Duplessis, and he is a retired Naval Construction Battalion.